This is the 2025 Santa Cruz XRT. This year is a refresh for the Santa Cruz, so not a complete redesign, but just some good quality of life changes throughout the vehicle. Starting off with the engine, it is a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with an 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. It does 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. So starting off on the refresh here, we have a redesigned front fascia. It's not completely different, though there are some noticeable changes, and that mainly resides in these blockier DRLs and the blockier grille overall. The front of the XRT also has these two orange tow hooks. This is exclusive to the XRT trim and new to this year. It is a coincidence that the vehicle happens to be orange. The tow hooks are orange no matter what color of the vehicle you pick. This XRT in particular just happens to be orange. Coming over to pricing really quick before we move on. This is $40,000 MSRP with some add-ons here. The paint is Canyon Red, which costs an additional $470. After all these add-ons and freight and handling, it comes out to a total price of $42,410. Our actual pricing will be on the screen here. All right, let's move on to the back here. We'll start on the back and then we'll move into the truck and we'll review everything in there. We have this nice chrome here for the Hyundai logo. Some new things on the back is this sort of chrome-ish material across the back here, behind the plate and throughout here. And we have Santa Cruz spelled out on the back. This is the all-wheel drive, so you'll see HTRAC here. And the beautiful XRT logo. Opening up the trunk here, we have a bed mat here, which will just move to the side. We have a tonneau cover available on the XRT, as well as on the Limited and the SEL Activity. This is slidable, so you just pop up to slide, push in, and it snaps to the back. We have a under bed storage here with a drain down here. It's nice having that because the bed isn't as big as some mid-size or full-size pickups, so having a little extra storage is nice for various things. We have an outlet right along here and a little additional storage for like a speaker or something. And we have some over here as well. This one does not have a plug, but it is some additional storage. We have hook points that are on rails, so it does move forward and backwards. And we have a little strap here in case we want to pull this tonneau cover forward. And once it's latched, it stays latched. It does not move until I move it up to the slide position. All right, let's move on to the inside. Along the side here, we have this soft touch leatherette material. We have some piano black material with a cup holder. No door card on the side, however. Before I hop in, actually, these seats, both sides, do pop up with this latch, and you pull upward, and then you have some under seat storage that goes across the entire back seat area. We also have two cup holders here with a little armrest and more cup holder over there. My seat, my driving position is all the way back, so it's as far back as it can go. My knees do touch the seat. However, headroom wise, I have about that much headroom. It does not feel like I'm about to touch the roof by any means. It's actually quite comfortable back here. If you were sitting behind someone who's shorter, this seat wouldn't be a problem. I'm just 6'1", and I have a lot of legs, so I need my seat all the way back. Most people will not need it all the way back. This seat does go far, pretty back, or back pretty far is what I meant. Over here we have 2 vents and 2 USB Type-C charging ports. We also have some behind the seat storage on that side, but on this side we do not. We also have the back glass here, which does slide out for a little bit of wind. All right, let's hop out and move into the front. Again, we have this piano black along the door card, more of this soft touch leatherette, and some storage underneath here. I forgot to mention this while I was in the back, but we do have leatherette seating with this nice XRT emblem along both front seats. Not in the rears though, sadly. We have the same steering wheel we have in pretty much every other Hyundai. These 4 dots represent H in Morse code. We have our typical buttons here, like our lane centering and highway control, our adaptive cruise, and then we have our menu cycling button right here. And we have this little monitor here, which keeps track of your eyes when using the smart highway control. So when you activate it, it helps keep you in your lane and will steer you along the interstate. This just makes sure you're not, looking over here in your back seat or something while it's going. The screens here are 2 separate screens, but they blend so seamlessly that it's really hard to tell. They are both 12 inches. This is a fully digital gauge cluster, and of course, a fully capable touchscreen. Hyundai touchscreens are some of my favorite, simply because they're super quick, super reactive, with nearly no delay at all. So I can swipe back and forth pretty seamlessly. No problems with that. Click things just fine. There will really be no stuttering that you'll experience, which is extremely important, especially if you're driving and you quickly just need to switch, I don't know, your music or something, or pull up the maps really quick. Speaking of driving and being able to do things smoothly, we have a voice assistant here, which works with Siri or Google Assistant, which, by the way, we do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both wired and wireless, whatever you may choose. So you just activate this if you need something done on there, and you can press and hold, which will activate Siri or Google Assistant. Coming down here, we have, which is, besides the screens, really where the redesign starts happening. We have some dedicated buttons throughout here for interacting with the touchscreen when you don't want to mess with the touchscreen. So we can access the map just by pushing it. It's very quick, very instant. We can access our settings if need be, or whatever you may be looking for. We have a physical button for the volume and for the tuner. And then we have a physical dial for the AC/heat. And we have capacitive buttons down here for the heated seats or the fans and all of those beautiful settings. In the XRT, we have only heated seats. In the Limited, you get ventilated seats and heated steering wheel. Moving down here, let's move the shifter out of the way. We have 2 USB-C ports, one of which is just for charging, and the other one is for charging and for data control. So if you're trying to upload music to your touchscreen or trying to use wired Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, this is how you do it. We also have 1 wireless charging pad down here, right here, and then a little bit of extra storage if you need it. We have cup holders here, and we have some controls down here. We have our all-wheel drive lock. We have auto hold, hill descent control, camera, drive modes, and our parking brake. For the camera control, you'll see that we have a bird's eye view perspective and a front-facing camera with plenty of options. There's our blind spots, and there's a wide angle lens. We also have a backup camera with the same settings here. We also have a 360 view here, which allows us to rotate around the car, see what may or may not be around us. Pretty cool. And for our drive modes, which again is with this little shifter here, we see that we have normal, sport, smart, and snow. Our gauge cluster, like I said before, is fully digital, which means you can do cool things like this. If we go to settings, and then to cluster, and then to theme selection, we can actually change from simple to modern to classic. And we can also change the style it appears in. All right. Beyond that, we have a little bit of extra storage up here for our passenger with this very nice sort of grippy material. It is not rubber, it is plastic, but I have found it to be very grippy to prevent things from sliding off when you slam on the brakes or push the accelerator. We also have a pretty reasonably sized glove box here. This is our manual here, which fits in there and leaves extra room up here, as well as some room over here. And we have our lights and our blue link and our SOS buttons. This, the XRT trim does not come with a sunroof. However, the Limited does, as well as the SEL Activity. There's a backwards look, just so you can kind of see what it looks like from the front. On the Limited trim, they do come with Bose speakers. However, on the XRT and below, we just have Hyundai stock speakers, which, by the way, are pretty good. I've driven a lot more expensive vehicles that have a lot worse sound systems in them, so I was fairly impressed. All right, let's hop back out of this car and just give our final thoughts on it. All right, so that was the 2025 Santa Cruz XRT. This is a really nice package for the money. The engine, which I mentioned before, produces quite a bit of horsepower, 281, and quite a bit of torque, 311, which is excellent for some small towing, as well as just a quick get up and go when trying to merge into the highway or just trying to daily commute. And last but definitely not least, if you're interested in getting a 2025 Santa Cruz XRT or any Hyundai vehicle, make sure to stop on by to McGeeHyundai.com. That's McGeeHyundai.com. McGeeHyundai.com. We have this and a bunch of other Hyundai vehicles on sale right now below MSRP, brand new. Come get them. I appreciate you all watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one where we review a 2025 Tucson.